Hey, our dead empire here. I have a quick report for the SNAP situation, you guys, in the government shutdown. So, as you guys probably know by now, what's been happening, the Trump administration was ordered by federal Judge John McConnell of Rhode Island, a Supreme Court justice, to fund SNAP. Now, he at first last week said he would, but then he turned around and the next morning and said, no, I'm not going to do it. Later that day, Press Secretary Caroline gave a update and said, yes, we will release those $5.5 billion in contingency funds, and you're looking at Dee which is a partial payment because the whole amount needed is $9.2 billion. She said we were going to release the funds. The next morning, he said no, again. So, at this point, the judge said, okay, you are not only going to release those funds, you're going to pay the full benefit. Now, his deadline to do that, Trump's deadline to do that, was today, Friday, by 4 p.m. So what Trump did a few hours back is he actually appealed that decision and asked for an emergency order to pause the judge's order. But the good news is some states are seeing some partial payments. And California is one of them. Now, I'm trying to find out what the other states are because the USDA did send out, that $5 billion for the partial payments. They did send it to the states. Some states are now getting partial payments. And California, I'm not positive if they got partial payments in California. Maybe you can comment if you know something about that for other people so we can kind of try to keep each other informed. But they are getting some SNAP on their SNAP cards. So, as far as that's the SNAP update, and by the way, Congress is meeting today and trying to find a solution, but I would not hold your breath because this is day 38, the longest shutdown in the longest government shutdown in history, and they just keep butting heads both sides, and you know what it's about. The Democrats want the subsidies to fund the Affordable Care Act, which is also called Obamacare, the health exchange. I didn't know until not long ago, 22 million Americans rely on that healthcare system. 22 million. So without the subsidies, for example, a family of four's premiums for that healthcare is going to go from $200 or $300 a month to like $1,400 a month without the subsidies. So that's why Democrats are hanging out. That's where they're holding out, okay? They're fighting for health care. And so yeah, that's where we're at right now. And Trump is being defiant about it. Now, as far as our troops getting paid, they got paid the last two paychecks, October 15th and November 1st, because Trump miraculously, which I'm glad, scraped up money from research funds and all other places to pay them. But according to militarytimes.com, the next paycheck they're due is November 15th, and they're not going to get paid if the government shutdown continues, which I wouldn't be surprised at all. So as far as the airports go, you guys might have heard, TSA, FHA, more people are walking off the job, calling in sick. They're going to find gig work, they got to pay their bills. And it's a mess. The airport's a mess. And Trump threatened last week, to shut the airspace down completely. There's people that I've said or read comments, hey, my flight was not only, canceled, but it's canceled indefinitely. And think of all the travelers, on Thanksgiving, what that's going to do. Now, Trump continues to claim prices are way down with groceries. When he was on his trip to Asia recently, in front of our troops who are stationed in Japan, he gave a conference, and he looked at them and said, I have eradicated inflation back in our homeland. Are you kidding me? The only thing that's went down as far as groceries go are eggs that I've noticed. Everything else is like skyrocketing. I was talking to this person in the store talking about how to use ground chicken and ground turkey instead of ground beef. And he said, yeah, it's a pretty good substitute. in some recipes like tacos and stuff. And I said, yeah, I've been doing that a while now. But people are not even going to be able to afford that, without SNAP. It's insane. Now, you know how they said that, the Trump administration said the wells run dry, meaning no more money. We don't have the money for SNAP. Well, let me tell you this. They print money out of nowhere, backed by nothing. It used to be backed by gold, but when the Federal Reserve took over decades ago, it was no longer backed by gold. Our money is pretty much worthless. And that's why we're $38 trillion in debt. But my point is, if they want to have money for something, they will just print more, because that's what they do. And as far as the money, people are outraged at Argentina. Okay, at first they said Argentina is going to get an aid package from U.S. for $20 billion. Then it went up to $40 billion. Guess what? It was actually $82 billion. $82 billion for another country. And aid to several other countries has not stopped during the shutdown. Billions of dollars to Israel and Ukraine, guys. Billions, okay, for weaponry. So, yeah, that's where we're at. It's obvious they're phasing out the poor. They cut Medicaid with the big, beautiful bill. Medicare is screwed up. The poorest of the poor, what little bit they had is being taken. Homelessness is criminalized now. So, that's what I have for you for now. Now, I've been doing updates on my other channel, too, Nellie's Farm. I haven't mentioned my other channel yet, but I've been doing updates. I've had some cruel comments, horrible comments. No turkey for you, get a job, and this and that. Some of us don't have our health and have been trying to find a job for 2 years that we can do. Even young, healthy people with college degrees can't even find jobs now and are being laid off. The trucking industry, the farmers are decimated. Everybody is losing their jobs. AI is taking the jobs over. It's crazy. So, for you judgmental people who think you're so high and mighty, just wait. Your turn is next. You're next. If you think that you're secure, unless you're really rich and you have connections and insider training and stuff, like trading like our Congress does, both sides, by the way, you're next. So, don't judge people who are struggling right now. So that's all I got for you. If I find out anything else, I'm going to start doing Snap updates on this channel. And by the way, California, along with 22 other states, filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration over the refusal to disperse those funds. Those funds are there. I don't care what they say. They are there. So it's a matter of wanting to do it. So I just wanted to bring you this. I'll keep you up to date. Please subscribe, hit that bell so you can get my latest notifications. Like I said, I'm going to start updating every time I see something new about SNAP and the government shutdown on this channel as well. My other channel is called Nellie's Farm, Nellies Farm. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a good Friday. Hang in there.